Hello everyone! There are innovations to production facilities almost every year to incorporate the most advanced designs and newest technologies. Welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're going to introduce you to some surprising manufacturing machines and amazing production processes. We're sure that there will be some sort of information that will make you say, "I didn't know that." Sound interesting? Then let's get started right away. Forging processes. Various metals such as iron, copper, titanium, and aluminum are still being processed in factories around the world today. Forging is one of those metal processing methods. When performing this process, it's important to know the properties of each metal and the appropriate temperatures necessary for forging. For example, iron needs to be heated to 800 to 1250 degrees Celsius, copper to 1000 degrees, titanium to 1000 to 1600 degrees, and aluminum to 400 degrees before forging is even possible. Once the metals are sufficiently heated, only then can forging be performed with various types of machines. There are pneumatic hammers, steam hammers, hydraulic hammers, water press machines, and hydraulic press machines. There are also traditional blacksmithing operations that are carried out today, but this does not happen on a commercial scale. The forging process for metal products is divided into 4 stages. In the first stage, the metal is heated to the required temperature. It's important that the temperature does not exceed the temperature suitable for forging. The reason for this is to prevent the metal from melting. In the second stage, the heated metal material is pressed with a machine to apply pressure. Then, the metal is modified into its required shape and size. Hydraulic hammers and presses are used during this process. A machine called a forging manipulator is used to hold the metal block known as an ingot in place. Last but not least, the final product is cooled in a cooling tank and then inspected for cracks and other possible defects. Defective products are heated once again and remolded into their proper form. Watching these processes take place is quite a spectacle. At the same time, it's an extremely dangerous process that requires great care and concentration. Paint. Next, we're going to introduce you to the production process of paint, a very eye-catching process. We summarize this process in one word, but there are various types of paints, depending on the product they are applied to, and the production process differs for each as well. For example, acrylic paint only requires 2 ingredients. The first is powdered pigment, and the second is a binder such as acrylic resin, which is used to hold the pigment in place. Once all the ingredients are placed in a large tank, the process begins. In the heated tank, an industrial mixer carefully mixes the ingredients together. The next step is to disperse the pigments. In this process, the pigments are broken down into smaller particles. Once that is complete, they are put through the mixer again and kneaded. Now all that remains is to separate the final product into packaging materials. This is the simplest way to produce paint. More complex products, such as paint for buildings for example, are made through many more production processes. Bells. There is something wonderful about simply hearing the word bell. Not only do bells produce beautiful sounds, but they are also fine works of craftsmanship. The manufacturing process of bells is very interesting as well. Most modern bells are made of copper or bronze. The manufacturing methods of the two are fundamentally different. The base of a bronze bell is a mold made from a mixture of sand and epoxy adhesive. Bronze bells are formed by encasing this mold in bronze. In this video, we will discuss the process of making bronze bells in detail. The process of creating bronze bells begins with the creation of wax parts that are placed into a special mold. These wax parts are used to decorate the bell. The craftsmen will then attach the wax parts to a plaster mold of the bell by hand. When this process is completed, a conical cover with an opening at the top is placed over the top of the mold. Molding material is then poured over the top, which covers the plaster mold and will eventually harden. This entire process is known as cast molding. When the molding material has completely hardened, the inner bell mold is removed. This is where the decorative mold, made by cast molding, is produced. Fire is then directed over the inside of the mold. A metal covering is placed over the heated mold, and the mold that creates the inner cavity of the bell is also secured in place. A fire-resistant alloy of copper with a small amount of tin is poured from the top. After these processes are complete, all that is left is to wait a couple of days for the metal to cool and harden into the shape of a bell. When the completed bell is removed from the casting, the molding material is removed and the bells are polished. Lego. Almost half of the very popular Lego bricks are made in a single factory in the town of Billund, Denmark. The allowable error for the dimensions for all blocks is less than 2 micrometers. The base of the blocks consists of plastic with styrene, butadiene, and acrylonitrile delivered directly from a supplier. The color of the plastic is usually red or transparent, but dyes of other colors are also added to the forming blocks during the production process. First, hot liquid plastic is poured into a mold. After the blocks are shaped under hundreds of tons of pressure and quickly cooled with cold water, the molds are opened and hundreds of Lego blocks flow into a conveyor belt. During the inspection process, specially programmed robotic arms remove any defective blocks. Fun fact, almost 7,000 different molds are currently used in the production of Lego bricks. The price of one type of mold is about $72,000 or 7.8 million yen. A mold with a complex shape can cost as much as $360,000 or nearly 40 million yen. Lava lamps. Lava lamps were invented in the 1960s. Now, anyone who wants a lava lamp can easily buy one. Lava lamps are still an eye-catching and stylish room decoration for those who like vivid objects and unusual designs. However, the process on how it's made and the products it's made of is not well known. First and foremost, let's talk about the very simple principle of this magical lamp. 2 liquids that do not mix are placed in a glass jar connected to the bulb's metal ring by means of a special device. The first liquid is paraffin and the second is oil. At relatively low temperatures, the weight of paraffin is greater than oil. However, when paraffin is warmed by the bulb, attached to the bottom of the light, it floats to the top because its weight becomes much smaller. As the paraffin floats up and the temperature drops, it will drop back down to the bottom of the glass jar. Isn't this a wonderful process? The top and bottom of the jar are made of brushed aluminum and the main body is made of glass. Pad printing. Finally, we'd like to introduce a process that allows any design to be printed on the surface of an object like a stamp. In order to perform pad printing, a specialized machine is required. First, you will need a machine that can achieve high-quality printing on the surface of objects with complex shapes. Complex shaped objects are essentially irregular shaped objects, such as those that have distorted or curved surfaces. Since the machine requires compressed air to function properly, an air compressor is also necessary for printing. In addition, to produce intaglio printings with designed engravings, an exposure machine is used. In intaglio printing, the processes of exposure and washing are done by hand. Positive film, a brush for washing, a developer's density checker, a deploying tray, a photosensitive resin film, and a set of inks are used in this process. We've now arrived at the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Manufacturing processes, even if it is a simple one, are very inspiring. What do you find interesting in today's ranking? Is there any product that you would like to know the developing process of? Please let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to press the like button. It would make us happy if you could share this video with your friends. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you all next time. Goodbye!